So let's talk about dealers and consumers and reflect a little bit on your days as a car dealer. What would you tell your dealer friends, many of whom I've talked to just in the last week or two, who are worried about market turbulence, consumer confidence, the threat of a recession in the wake of tariffs being enacted?
Well, first of all, you're going to have a great 90 days. Let's be honest. Okay. Car dealers are going to absolutely
Already
thrive.
had a great March.
Yeah. Great March, great April, great May. Look, the one thing we need in sales is urgency. So you're welcome. All right. So it's a great time to be a car dealer over the next 90 days. And I think by the time this 90-day period is over, the certainty will bake into the system. I think the reality is you're going to see massive amounts of investment in America. Right now, they've already announced 6 trillion investment. So I think you're going to see the markets react to that as these factories and facilities are moved here and built here. Now, you may have turbulence if you focus primarily on imported cars, especially in the low end of the luxury scale or in the mass market scale. But dealers are very responsive. Go out and know what kind of used cars your market will work with. So you'll see substitution. If you have foreign car makers that add a big price increase to a foreign-made vehicle, you're going to see substitution where that consumer will buy the American-made car instead, even though maybe it wasn't the first choice. So I think dealers will know nobody is better prepared to handle that than car dealers. Jason, car dealers have been through it all. The gas crisis in the 70s, the savings and loan crash in the 80s, the tech boom in the 90s, the crash after 9/11, the financial destruction of the 0809 crisis, COVID. We are the most resilient entrepreneurs in America, and we'll get through this easily.
Well, in fact, Presidio's director of research, Kevin Tynan, uh, was on with me recently talking about the fact that this could be classified as a tariff pandemic for dealers. In other words, the supply demand shift could be real enough that the profitability levels could echo what happened just a couple of years ago as the market shifts and adjusts and finds its footing. Dealers, especially during COVID, post COVID, had exceptional years. You subscribe to that theory?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I think dealers are looking at their financial statements over the next few days for March, and I think they're going to have a big smile on their face, and that's positive because that means they can pay their workers more money, they can invest more in facilities. And this is the business case for why dealers add so much value to the retail automotive business because they can pivot, they're very flexible, they know how to take advantage of market opportunities, and right now there's a lot of market opportunities. Look at your used car inventory. If you're sitting on millions of dollars of used car inventory, all of a sudden that used car inventory became more valuable. I mean, that's an incredible opportunity for car dealers. And we're also, by the way, going to lower interest rates. So
Right.
that helps a lot as well. I have another bill that makes auto interest deductible if you buy an American-made automobile. And again, permitting reform, tax reform, we're going to give you certainty. We're going to make the tax reform in 17 permanent, reset the investment tax credit and the R&D tax credit, no tax on tips, overtime, or Social Security. So all these things are really helpful.
Our friend John Murphy, Bank of America Merrill Lynch, put a report out this week that talked about labor cost differential between the U.S. and other low-cost nations. Low availability of labor was one of his concerns, and reshoring auto parts plants, he says, impossible in the short term, which could lead to consumers having higher prices. Your response to some of the supplier issues, I mean, especially the complexity, Senator, of even the intricacies of engines and what is sourced where. What's your
Well, look,
response to that?
Jason, here's my response. America is where we make the impossible possible. This is our Sputnik moment. Americans can rise to this moment, and we, between government and the private sector, can get things done much faster when we put our minds to it. Nothing's impossible in America. We're going to rebuild this country with American hands, with American hearts, with American pride. And I think that opportunity that's before us is an imperative. We could not continue to go down the path we were on, and we're changing course. And we have a president and a Republican Congress that knows that rebuilding this country from the middle class up is what's going to make this country thrive going forward. We're going to cut our deficits. We're going to balance our budget. We're going to get our fiscal house in order. And America's best days are ahead of us, Jason. That's what everybody watching this should know. And look, yes, Maybe there's a little bit of turbulence, but we had to change course. $37 trillion in debt, a gutting of our industrial sector, our middle class being destroyed. We had conflicts all over the world in which we depend on other countries for critical things. All of that is being turned around in short order. So to my dealer friends, always put a smile on, always know that you're resilient and you will get through this stronger than ever.